Drive Club VR, man, 2016. This was pretty good back then. And it's still good today, after all those years. Now, keep in mind, Drive Club has been discontinued, meaning that there is no more support for Drive Club. Developers stopped working on it because they closed down the studio, which is kind of sad. I think they did a fantastic job with Drive Club, and who knows, maybe they're going to reopen the studio for PlayStation VR 2. It would be kind of nice to see another Drive Club, you know, Drive Club VR 2 would be great. But chances of that happening are, I don't know. Not that we need it, considering we have Gran Turismo 7, but I still think it would be kind of cool to have Drive Club resurrected and come back. I originally played this on my PlayStation 4, the white edition that I had back then. 2015 PlayStation 4 white edition. It was just vanilla PlayStation 4. It wasn't PlayStation 4 Pro, and it ran pretty darn good, even on that console. To be honest with you. I didn't realize how many PlayStation VR games I have, actually, till I checked my library. I got a total of 300 plus PlayStation 4 games. 300 plus, bro. That's crazy. And pretty good amount of them are PlayStation VR. It's digital and physical media copy mixed together. And I'm definitely going to need a hard drive to get all these PlayStation VR 1 games, to kind of go through them and show them to you. Just kind of to remind you like how awesome the PlayStation VR 1 was. And it's still awesome, you know. Ooh, we got a Ferrari. Nice. Alright, we're gonna continue. I love the soundtrack. Soundtrack's done by Hybrid. If you guys know Hybrid, it's the band in UK that does electronic music, but they also do soundtracks as well. Should I go with a Mercedes or BMW? I'll go with a BMW for now. Go with the factory version. What's so cool about Drive Club VR? You can actually walk around, check your car out, check it out. You can open the doors. You can sit on the passenger side. Actually, another cool thing is when you finish the race, you can actually sit on the passenger side of the car, and you can enjoy the replay of your race that you have finished, which is pretty unique, pretty cool. I wish that Gran Turismo would do that on their game. Be kind of cool. Alright, so let's jump in the car. Let's close the door. Hold on. Here we go. You can also adjust the seat backwards, forward, lower, upper. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I think this is good for me. Adjustment like right here. Alright, there we go. As far as the graphics, you know, granted, I've seen better, but considering how old this game is, it still holds up, man. It still looks great, if you ask me personally. Okay, it still holds up. It's still good. It just kind of sucks that developers of Drive Club, they don't have the studio anymore. They had to close the studio for some reason. I don't know why. What the reasoning was for them to close down the studio. Maybe they went, I don't know, financially they went bankrupt. I don't know what the deal was, to be honest. I just know they closed down the studio. It was like in 2018. There was an announcement that they're going to stop, you know, supporting the Drive Club. Now, there's two different types of Drive Club. You got Drive Club VR, and you got Drive Club full game. And honestly, the graphics were really top-notch, equal to Gran Turismo, if not even better, to be honest with you. And it's just kind of shame that the developers of Drive Club closed the studio. What am I, 5th place? Let's see. Alright, not bad. Let me just double check something really quick. Oh yeah, the replay. So this is what I was trying to show you. Like when you finish the race, you can sit on the passenger side, and you can look at yourself. I mean, this is not me, but it's kind of cool that you can sit on the passenger side and you can listen to the music and just enjoy it. You know, enjoy the ride. You know, it's almost like a Uber Uber driver experience, if you will, in VR. I guess you could call this a Uber VR experience, right? It's kind of cool. It's very unique. This adds, in my opinion, it adds to replay value. Maybe you just want to chill, put on your VR headset, drink some coffee or drink some whatever your favorite beverage is, and listen to some music and enjoy the scenery. You know, just chill, relax, and enjoy the driving. And this is me. This is the way I was driving this replay race. Very unique, cool. You know, this is one of the reasons why PlayStation VR was so popular. I would say, and it's kind of sad that this has happened, I would say that PlayStation VR is the most underrated VR device. And that's because people really never wanted to give it a chance. They were like, I don't know, the VR is not there yet. I don't know, I'm not so sure, you know. People are so skeptical when it comes to VR, and it's kind of sad because you guys really were missing out on some really great stuff, some great experiences, you know, like this and a bunch of other games that I have played and others have played. And it's kind of sad that because people were they were so turned off on, you know, the whole VR thing, because the VR was like a niche thing, you know, it wasn't like a big thing. It wasn't so popular. People were not so eager to jump on it and purchase it. I remember, man, I had a hard time convincing my brother to jump into the VR, and he couldn't get into it. I mean, he did enjoy some stuff that I showed him, but he couldn't get into it to purchase it. Just like so many other friends of mine, you know, I had a difficult time convincing them to get into PlayStation VR, you know. And it's kind of sad because for those of us who actually have tried the VR and who have purchased the PlayStation VR and have experienced all of these cool experiences, you know that how awesome this is. And it's still awesome. And it's still great. You know, when it comes to VR, as I said previously, and I'll keep saying it, you know, forever, I guess, it is something that you have to try. You know, watching videos really doesn't do it justice. You know, reading about it doesn't do it justice. You know, hearing what other people are saying doesn't do it justice. It's something that you truly have to experience for yourself to understand, you know, what it's all about. Sadly, that's one of the hardest things to do, is to convince people as to why you should go ahead and purchase PlayStation VR or PlayStation VR 2. And I think, honestly, when I think about it, that's one of the main reasons, even right now, why it's difficult to get people to purchase PlayStation VR 2. I don't think it's the price. I mean, sure, price $600, sure, definitely has something to do with it. It definitely had something to do with it. But even if the price was $400, I mean, look at Oculus. Oculus didn't take in a big way. You know, sure, there's a pretty good amount of people that have it, but not everyone has it. You know, you don't have like millions of developers jumping on it and making exclusive Oculus Quest games. What I'm trying to say is, it's just that people they're not sold on the whole VR thing, you know. I think that's the problem. And I'm speaking from my own experience, because everyone I spoke to, it always seems to be like I don't know if I want to invest into a VR, and then it's a very like a special interest type of a thing for a lot of people. And VR, it's really in a kind of strange spot right now, where it's hard to tell which way it's going to go. How's it going to evolve? What's it going to take for the VR to truly become a standard? Well, that's what I'm trying to say. The VR hasn't really gotten to that point where it has become a standard, where everybody's on board and every developer is jumping on it, making games on it. Otherwise you would have Microsoft, Nintendo, and so many others jumping on it. It's just not there yet, and it's in such a weird spot, and I don't know what is it about it. I think it's the fact that people have to wear a headset. I think honestly that's what it is. People would just rather kick back on their couch, on their sofa, and just enjoy the 75-inch or 83-inch television and just play that way, which is obviously the most feasible way for everybody to play. And I think that's honestly one of the reasons why it's so difficult to get people to jump on the PlayStation VR. Now, granted, sure, the price is not helping. Let's be honest, the price of the PlayStation VR 2, it's not helping Sony. $600 definitely not helping them, because $600 plus you have to buy the video games on top of that. That all adds up. And I mean, you have to have a console. Sure, all of that adds up. And the price of $600, definitely it's not helping. However, I don't think that's the main reason, as the Forbes is. I'm not saying that the Forbes is not correct on their analysis. They are correct that the pricing, definitely it's not helping. If you want to reach a global initiative to get as many PlayStation VR 2 headsets to as many people, the pricing's definitely not going to help do that. However, I don't think that's the main reason, even though it's not helping. One of the main reasons, I think, it's for the same reason that happened to the PlayStation VR 1. It's just people are just not asking for it. They're not hungry for it. It's there isn't any hunger for the VR. There's a hunger for 120 frames per second. There's a hunger for better graphics. There's a hunger for again, more detailed graphics with 120 frames per second with a higher resolution. There's a hunger for 4K, native 4K, and 8K native with a higher frame rate. There's a hunger for that with the bigger televisions, right? But there isn't any hunger for the VR. And I think that's why we're in such a weird spot. And this is my honest opinion. Clearly, you guys know I love VR. I have VR. I'm not like somebody who's against VR. If I was against VR, then why would I have VR? Why would I have so many VR headsets if I was against it? Clearly, I'm not. But this is my honest assessment. This is my honest analysis regarding the state that virtual reality is in. And that's how I honestly feel about it. Hold on a second. I think my controller died. There we go. All right, there we go. We're back. My controller was a little bit off. I don't know what happened. I'm using a PlayStation 4 controller, so I had to plug it in with a USB cable to charge it. It still works. The Dual Shock 4 still works great. I plugged it in. It's, and I've been using this controller since 2016 actually. The controller that's in my hand and the cable that's connected to the this Dual Shock 4 controller, it's 2016 controller, and I'm still using it, by the way, and it's working just fine. Oh, I got a Ferrari. Let's see what else we got. Let's continue. All right, we got Canada, Chile, India, Japan. Let's go to Norway. Let's do 7:30 in the morning. Oh, this will look great. Actually, let's do 9 o'clock. There we go, 9 o'clock. That's good. Oh, this is still being downloaded, so I cannot play it. Hold on. I gotta try a different one. All of these are downloading, so I cannot use them. Let me use the, see if Japan's down. Oh, it's Japan's downloading too. Oh, forget it. Chile, Canada, they're all being downloaded right now, so I cannot use it. Port of Vancouver is being downloaded. Oh my God, this will take time. Am I buying? No, man, I'm all set, man, with televisions, to be honest with you. I'm happy with what I have, honestly. For me to get something new, it would have to be some high-tech, cutting-edge technology for me to step into, like buying a new TV. It would have to be like a cutting-edge technology, like 8K, when the 8K becomes affordable, and when there's more 8K content out there, maybe 8K, like 75-inch or 77-inch 8K or something like that, with like some cutting-edge technology in it, or maybe a 12-bit, next generation 12-bit television sets. I'm looking for something that's like cutting edge. Right now, this is just upgrades, patching it up every year, here and there. I don't see anything that's like worth me like going out there and purchasing a television set. Because honestly, I'm all set. As you know, when it comes to television, I'm all set when it comes to TVs. So there's nothing out there that I'm looking forward to. Hopefully that answers your question. Oh, all of these has to be downloaded, so yeah, I have to wait for this stuff to be downloaded, so I cannot. I didn't realize how many tracks there are. There's so many tracks here. Let me jump in the car. Actually, let me check the car out. Let me go around. Just let me look at it. Looks good. Looks good. Let me sit in the passenger side. Let me check it out. All right, not bad. All right, let's do this. I would recommend Drive Club VR any day, any time, dude. But keep in mind that the studio, it's officially closed down since 2018. The studio doesn't exist no more, so there's no updates for this. You know, what you get is what you get. You're gonna get the latest update from whatever, 2019 or 2018, whenever they... I think 2019 is the last year that they have updated this. But what's included since 2016 all the way through 2019, it's pretty darn good, man. There's a lot of places for you to drive from Canada, Norway, I mean Chile, Japan, you name it, dude. There's tons of places for you to drive. I would easily recommend this. It's an amazing experience. You can even sit in the passenger side when you are watching a replay. That's another cool thing that you can do in this game that you can't do, like, let's say, in Gran Turismo. Basically, what it means, I'll show you to you. When you finish the race, you can actually watch yourself driving, and you can sit on the passenger side, and you can enjoy the you driving you, basically, like a Uber. It's pretty cool, actually. I like Drive Club, man. It was a great racing game. It's kind of sad that they shut down the studio, and I really don't know what the reason is why they shut down the studio. I have to look into that. I don't know what the reason is. Possibly financially they were struggling or something, I don't know. But it's a shame because I hate to see great developers, you know, close down their studios. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, Otis, it was great, man. Thank you. Yeah, Drive Club was next level, dude. The graphics back then were top notch, man. Top notch, especially for a PlayStation 4, man. The graphics were just, and this is before Gran Turismo Sport. It was top notch, man, and still is, dude. And it's still great, and it still looks great, honestly, and it's still awesome. And the soundtrack by Hybrid even made it even better, dude. Made it even far more better. If you guys know Hybrid band, electronic band from UK, they did a fantastic job on the soundtrack. It has orchestra and electronic music, you know, kind of like Harry Gregson Williamson and Hans Zimmer type of scores they do. Hybrid's pretty good, man. If you never listen to Hybrid, go to Spotify and listen to Hybrid. You can thank me later. There's some great stuff they got, man. Hey, what's up, Steve? How you doing, man? Nothing, man. I'm just driving some Drive Club VR, making some space on my PlayStation VR 1 to download a bunch of PlayStation VR 1 games. I got so many cool games to showcase to you guys. till we finally get to PlayStation VR 2. From Firewall Zero to Blood and Truth, Iron Man, Hitman 3 in VR, Hitman 3 in VR to, I mean, Jesus, so many. Farpoint with the aim gun. What else, dude? There's Ace Combat. I mean, there's tons of stuff, man. Skyrim. There's a lot of stuff that I have. The Valkyrie in space. What you call it? That it's almost like a Top Gun in space, if you will. Spacecraft fighter. VR arcade type shooter in space. The Valkyrie, I have that. I have tons of stuff, man. Tons of stuff. But I need some space. Firewall Zero is pretty cool. It's kind of like Rainbow Six in VR. It works the best with the aim gun, if you have an aim gun. But you don't necessarily need to use the aim gun. You can use a controller, but using it with the aim gun, it's far better, dude. It's more accurate. Instead of using a move controllers, yes, you can use a move controllers, but the aim gun, it's specifically designed to work the best with the Firewall Zero. And the Farpoint, there's a game called the Farpoint. And I have the aim gun. I have it. It's here with me. You know, PlayStation VR 1 was so underrated, dude. And the reason it was so underrated, it's what I have mentioned earlier in the beginning of the live stream, is the fact that people just weren't hungry for the VR. They weren't so sure about the VR. And I think that's why the VR, it's in such a weird spot, because not that it's not worth it. It is worth it, but the problem is trying to convince somebody to get into VR. It's like pulling somebody's teeth. You know, it's really hard to convince people to invest into VR, to try it. And the reason I believe the VR, it's a weird position right now. It's because it's just people would rather, they're not hungry. It's what it is. They're hungry for a higher resolution, better television, and they're hungry for 120 frames per second, 240 frames per second with a photorealistic Unreal Engine 5.1 graphics with a 8K resolution, you know, type of high-end TV. People are hungry for that, and that's the issue. That's the problem. Majority is hungry for that. They're not hungry for VR. And also, they don't like wearing a headset. You know, some people are not comfortable wearing a headset. So it's just like a 3D, you know, wearing the 3D glasses. But that's not to say that the VR is not great. I mean, I had great time with VR since 2013, 14, 15, 16. I had great time with the PlayStation VR 1. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I'm still enjoying it, as a matter of fact, as you can see. But it's the reason why I believe it's not taking off as they maybe wanted it to take off as a standard. It's because, for the reason that I just mentioned, people are not hungry for it, honestly. And that's because they're not willing to try it, honestly. It's just, they're like, I don't want to wear a hideous, headset on my head. I want to kick back on the couch, and I want to, enjoy my 8K resolution, Dolby Vision beyond the next level, a high dynamic range, 12-bit in the future, type of a television with the 8K, 12K, 240 hertz refresh rate. That's what people are looking for. They're looking for that. Whatever, PlayStation 6, PlayStation 7, whatever the hell they release in the future. And they're looking for that. They're hungry for that. And you can see that they're hungry for that. Those are the algorithms, the statistics. You can see what people are hungry for and what they're not hungry for. It's a hunger. Hunger is what you're looking for. What are you hungry for? And clearly, they were not hungry for the VR, even though there's a pretty good amount of people who love VR. But that's nothing in contrast to reaching a global initiative to reach to like hundreds of millions of people. Try to put a VR headset into hundreds of millions of people. That's a tough pill to swallow, to get that many people to have a VR. Even Oculus Quest, even Facebook, it's having a hard time trying to reach that global initiative. Even with their meta this, meta that, it's not working. That shows you that, the VR, it's in such a weird spot. So when it comes to PlayStation VR 2, what I'm trying to say is this. Sure, the price, it's not helping. The $600 is definitely not helping for Sony to reach the goal that they need to reach. The price tag, definitely it's not helping. The fact that you need to have a PlayStation 5 also is not helping. It's not compatible with PC. It's not compatible with the backward compatible PSVR 1 games. All of these things, it's not helping, especially the price. Now, having said that, one of the main reasons, to me personally, I don't think it's the price. I don't think it's all of these things that I just mentioned above. I think it's the fact that the VR in general, it's struggling. Not just for the PlayStation, but it's struggling with the Oculus Quest. It's struggling with, even on a PC, with the Valve Index and all these other. It's a special interest, it's such a niche thing. It's like a special interest. It's like sitting there in a corner, when you go to a video store, and there's a special interest, documentaries, you want to see a certain documentary of a certain things, right? Whatever documentary you're looking into, and there's a special interest section in the back for documentaries, right? So it's not like something that it's a standard that people are jumping on, Now, I'm not saying that VR has failed. It has not failed. It's still here, clearly, and it's still existing. People are still using it, but it's in a weird spot. What I'm trying to say, VR, it's in such a weird spot right now because there isn't that hunger. There's no hunger for the VR, and that's why it's sitting in such a weird spot. Hey, what's up, Cameron? How you doing? That's my whole point here that I'm trying to express. Oh, so this is the cool feature I was going to show you, the replay. This is where you sit on the passenger side, and on the passenger side, you can watch yourself driving yourself while you're sitting on the passenger side. So it's kind of cool. I always enjoy this. So if I want to listen to my favorite Spotify, soundtrack of something, or my favorite band, I can listen to it on Spotify through PlayStation. And I used to do this. I just sit on the passenger side, and it's like an Uber experience. You're just kind of kicking back, relaxing, just watching yourself drive you. Well, thank you, Chris. I'm glad you feel the same way, man. And this doesn't mean like that I am like being negative on the VR. I'm not negative on VR. If I was negative on VR, obviously I wouldn't be owning all these VR headsets. I wouldn't be doing this if I was so negative. If I wanted, some people said I want PlayStation VR to fail. I mean, it's such a stupid statement from some idiotic trolls out there who clearly don't know me. And I have a thick skin. I don't care. I don't reply. But why would I want to see PlayStation VR fail? You know, and then own the PlayStation VR, spend all the money to buy all these games? This makes no sense to me. Logical sense. I have criticisms. When criticism is due, I have my opinions on certain things when I have them, but that doesn't mean that I don't like PlayStation VR. You know, it's good to have. It's good to have criticism. It's good to have opinions when it's due. Nothing wrong with it. That doesn't mean you don't like what you have. It's just you want the best. And sometimes you are concerned. Sometimes you have concerns. And it's important, you know, to express those concerns for the future of the VR, right? Where's the state of PlayStation VR? Where is it going to go? What's the future of the PlayStation VR? Should people invest? Is it worth the investment? You know, there's so much uncertainty out there, you know. It's not so much the money. It's not, like I said, that $600, even though that $600 definitely doesn't help. It's not so much the money. It's people like to have a assurance. Like, okay, if I purchase this VR headset, can you guarantee me that in the next 5 years, that $600 gonna give me an amazing experience, right? People want that assurance. People will find a way to get money. All right, if I want something, I'll find a way to get the money, dude. I'll work some overtime, whatever. I'll work 2 fucking jobs. Sorry for the language. I'll figure out the way to get the fucking money. People will find a way to get the money. It's not just that. It's the assurance. You have to convince people as to. And the same issue we had with PlayStation VR 1, right? The same exact issue we had with PlayStation VR 1. How do we convince people why they should try PlayStation VR 1? Do you know how difficult it was for me to convince my brother to get one? And he never got one. I mean, he did enjoy the Batman Arkham experience. He did enjoy this. He did enjoy that Shark Tank game. You know, but he never purchased it. You know how the VR2 would be very successful. Yeah, let's hear it, Cameron. Well, no company is going to take a risk. You know, it's that wouldn't be a smart decision. You know, so that's never going to happen because. Yeah, but that's too much risk. That is too much risk, and they're not going to take that risk. I'm not saying that they couldn't afford to take that route. Sony has the money, they could take that route, but that would be too much of a gambling with the money. And you know, you got to remember, guys, Sony, it's a business. Sony, it's in business of making money, like any other company. PlayStation, it's in business of. Yeah, it's the gamble. Yeah, they're in business of it's a business. It just wouldn't make a logical sense. You know, it'd be like it would be very dumb for them to do that. And maybe I shouldn't use the word dumb, but I guess you could. It would be yeah, it would be dumb from a business perspective. It would be like very, very dumb, and okay, maybe not dumb, but immature. Okay, I'm sorry, that's the word I was looking for. It would be immature. You know what, Cameron? Me and you talked about this so many times on the podcasts, on the live streams. Me and you talked about this. Exclusives matters. And I don't know how many times you said it. I think you said it like millions of times. And it's true. And I know you'll keep saying it till the end of time. And me too. I'll say it till the end of time. Exclusives matters. And they will always matter. That's what sells the product. And this is so true. This is fact. This is not even an opinion. Actually, it's true. This is a fact. Exclusives matter. You know, why should I purchase this product? I don't care about technology. People are going to say, yeah. People don't care about technology. They're going to say, okay, it's fine and dandy that you got all this technology built into it. Let's see the exclusives. Right? Technology does, it's like Xbox, the most powerful console on the planet. That doesn't mean anything. The most powerful console on the planet. Yet they have no exclusives. That console, it's useless. Right? Like that console, it's useless. I don't care if it's the most powerful console on the planet, right? What is it, 12 terabytes? No, not 12, what was it? I forgot what it was. Not 12 terabytes, I don't know, like 12,000 CUDA cores, or is it like, I don't know, some shit like that. It doesn't matter, like, but basically, they're saying it's the most powerful console on the planet, blah, blah, blah. And if it's the most powerful console on the planet, what's the point? Even my 3090 Ti, let's put it this way. Even my 3090 Ti, like, what's the point of my 3090 Ti that has 25 gigabytes of GDDR 6X RAM if I can't take any advantage of it for what I need it for, right? What are the PC exclusives that will take the advantage? There used to be PC exclusives back in the days. We used to have a Half-Life. We used to have a Crysis. You know, there were some exclusives. Quake, Unreal Tournament, etc., etc. There were some exclusives back in the days. So but it's true. Exclusives matters, guys. Technology, it's nice. It's nice to have a pretty awesome technology built into it, but that technology doesn't mean anything if you don't have any exclusives to feed it. You have to feed that technology with some and it's so true. I like Dreamcast guy. The guy is spot on everything, dude. He's on point on a lot of stuff, man. Dreamcast guy. And I should have listened to him when he talked about the Callisto Protocol. I should have listened to him. But, I was so blinded by... I was such a fanboy of Callisto Protocol that I just didn't want to believe it. Like, nah, that's his opinion. I was like, eh. And then once I finally got the Callisto Protocol, wake-up call. It was a big-time wake-up call for me when I finally got it. I think because he's honest, and you can see that honesty come through within Dreamcast guy. He's so honest, and he just tells it to you honestly. This is how he feels, and how he feels is done genuinely. It's not biased. I can tell which YouTuber it's biased. He has no bias there. It's just he's being genuine on how he feels about product, how he feels. Even that PlayStation 5 Dual Sense Edge controller, he was being very genuine about it. Is it good? Well, yeah, but do you need it? Probably not. Is it expensive? Yes. For whom is it? Special interest, like Call of Duty fans, like who are going to be very competitive. If you're a very competitive guy, and you're playing a lot of competition on a Call of Duty, I think you're going to benefit. Clearly, you're going to benefit with PlayStation 5 Edge controller. There's no question about that. It's going to help you out in a big way. So that $200 for regular Joe, it's out of the question. Regular Joe, regular Mary is not going to buy that. It's aimed for a specific kind of a gamer. And that's what Sony is aiming the Edge controller. Edge controller is being aimed for a specific type of a gamer. Just like PlayStation VR 2, it's being aimed for a specific kind of gamer. And that's okay. Listen, I think what Sony's doing, it's smart. They're like, okay, we're not going to go too crazy on a production of PlayStation VR 2. We'll have about 1.5 million units, and we'll see how it goes. We'll put it out there on the wild. Comes next week. We'll see how well it does next week. If there's a more high demand on it, then we'll start the production of more units of PlayStation VR 2. I think Sony, it's smart. They like to test the waters first. They did the same thing with the PlayStation VR 1. Now when I think about it, Cameron, in 2016, they did exactly the same thing. They were like, okay, let's put it out there in the wild, and let's see how well it does. If people have more high demand on it, we're going to start the production of more VR headsets. If people complain about the price, maybe we can cut down the price by the end of this year. Maybe during the holiday season, we can bring it down to 400, right? Maybe we can bring the backward compatibility. We'll see what we can do. And I think they're testing the waters. And I tell you what, I should have made a video about this. This is how they're going to do this next week and throughout this year. That's how they're going to do it. Oh, I will. I will make that video. But I'm still working on it. It's still kind of messy. I'm still putting stuff together. But you will see it. You will see it. You will see when it's finished next Friday when I get my PlayStation VR 2. During the unboxing, you guys will see it during the unboxing. Because right now I'm still arranging stuff, putting stuff here and there, putting the lights, those Philips Hue lights and stuff like that, rearranging the things. I'm even putting my old PlayStation aim controller boxes and PlayStation VR boxes, and I'm putting them kind of like next to each other as a display. So I'm doing that. I'm also got my aim controller next to it sitting. I got the Move controllers also set up in a certain way. I got my PlayStation 4 Pro next to my PlayStation 4 Pro Silver God of War Edition. I got a lot of stuff organizing. And then I have an extra space for the PlayStation VR 2 with my C10 OLED, which is a 48-inch OLED. So trust me, you will see it on the unboxing. It will be included with the unboxing. You will see it. Trust me, it's going to be good. Oh, it's going to be a video. It's definitely going to be a video. You know, I made a video about that, why Microsoft hasn't implemented a virtual reality. It is kind of strange when you think about it, because they have Windows Mixed Reality. This is the reason I mention it. It's because they have Windows Mixed Reality. Like, Xbox has Windows Mixed Reality platform, and you've seen it. I have the Samsung Odyssey Plus on my 3090 Ti. So you know that the Windows Mixed Reality platform exists, and I use it for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And the Microsoft Flight Simulator experience is amazing. But I don't understand why they haven't implemented. It would definitely help them. Mark my words, man. There's no question about it that that would help Microsoft if they had the VR for the game like Flight Simulator. But to begin with, Microsoft, it's in such a terrible position right now. Xbox, the last thing on their mind is the VR, dude. They're in such a terrible position right now financially, especially with this deal that went sour, that got blocked with buying out Activision and Blizzard. That deal didn't go through. Not to mention 10,000 employees being laid off. They're in such a weird spot, man. I really don't know what's going to happen with Xbox in the future, man. They're in such a weird spot, dude. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see that video, but I'll definitely check it out later on tonight. I don't know, man. It's Xbox reminds me of Stadia at this point. Honestly, they remind me of Stadia, like Google, man. Microsoft and Google, they're not that far apart, man, because they're kind of in the same trajectory. Just like I predicted Stadia, man. Right now, Microsoft. Listen, 2023. It's do or die for the Xbox. Honestly, dude. 2023, it's do or die for them. Either A, they're going to be successful, or that brand's going to die. Slowly but surely is going to disappear. Or maybe somebody else is going to come along. Maybe Phil Spencer will retire. Maybe he'll get fired. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe Bill Gates is going to start a resurrection of the Xbox. He's going to hire some better people to do it. I don't know what's going to happen, dude. The next 5 years for the Xbox going to be very interesting, dude. It's going to be a very interesting next few years to see what happens with the Xbox. But this year, it's do or die, man. This year, they have to. I don't think they will deliver, to be honest. I just don't see it happening. Red Fields in May. It looks like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer first-person shooter game. There's nothing there. Starfield, is it going to be delayed again? Are we going to see it in time for holidays? Well, Game Pass, it's just a quantity of games. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind playing those games, some of those games, but they're just mediocre games. It's like the games on your phone, like mediocre indie games, nothing too crazy, Quantity of games doesn't mean anything. I would cancel my Netflix if Netflix only had mediocre movies, I wouldn't even bother with the Netflix. I couldn't care. I would cancel that immediately. But they have some great movies, and I was like, all right, keep it going. Yes, it's a little bit expensive, but they got some cool movies, you know. So the quantity to me doesn't mean anything. Quality means everything. You gotta deliver on the quality. Hey, what's up, Deacon? Oh, you rented Forspoken? I can't wait to see what you have to say about the Forspoken. I think you're gonna like it, man. I think you're gonna like the story. Honestly, I'm not saying that the Forspoken is the greatest game of all time. It's not, but it's not the worst game of all time either. I would say Forspoken, it's a good, decent game. It has some decent story to it, and it's I had fun. Clearly, you guys can see that live stream. Go check out my live section. You'll see how many live streams I've done. Clearly, you can see I had a good time playing Forspoken. I'm still playing it. I have no issues with Forspoken. But I know it's not the greatest, but it's somewhere in between. You know, it's like, I guess, like Hogwarts. I guess it's somewhere in between. I don't know, man. It's such a weird year already, dude. The first 2 months of this year has been really weird. It's such a weird time, man. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I'm speaking from my perspective. Obviously, I'm not speaking obviously for everybody. Everybody's different, but from my perspective, first 2 months, man, feels so weird, dude. Like 2023 already feels weird. Such a weird shit happening, man. It's kind of like such like a tense buildup of something, uneasiness. I can't explain it. Those earthquakes, 20,000 people dead. You got these UFOs, balloons, tensions between China, USA, Russia, NATO, USA, and all this crap going on. There's such a uneasiness, uncertainty. You've got politically we're divided. It's like a tribal. We're going back to tribalism. It's such a weird year already, dude. But that's just me. Yeah, but that's just me. Yeah, go ahead, Cameron. Do I think PlayStation VR 2 controller can work on the that's a good question. I will definitely test. That's a good request. I'll remember that. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna plug in with the USB-C. I'm gonna plug in the PlayStation VR 2 Sense controller to see if it works with the left and right. But I'm gonna have to use both of my USB spaces. I'll have to use a USB extension. I'll use a USB extension, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use a USB extension. I'm gonna plug in my USB extension. Nah, it's not gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work because there's only one USB-C in the front. But I'll try it. But I don't think it's gonna work. I think Sony already thought about that, but I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try. I'll register them. We'll see. You know what? It might work, actually. It has a Bluetooth, right? Correct? It has a Bluetooth built into it. So the Bluetooth's going to detect it. Yeah, it connects wirelessly. But you have to connect it with a USB to register. You have to register the left controller first, and then you got to register the right controller. And when you register the left and the right controller of the PSVR 2 Sense controllers, then, just according to what I have learned, then, yeah, you can use it with a PlayStation VR 2. But can you use it for a standalone PlayStation 5 games? I'm going to try that. Honestly, as a matter of fact, the first thing I'm going to do next Friday is I'm going to try that. I'm going to play Forspoken. I'm going to click on Forspoken, and I'm going to try it. I'll put on the VR headset, and I'm going to try it to see if it works. And I'm going to click on Forspoken, and I'll play the Forspoken on my PlayStation VR 2 headset as a big screen, as a cinema mode. They call it a cinema mode, right? So this might work. Actually, this might work, Cameron, because they do have a cinema mode when you're not playing the PlayStation VR 2 games and you're playing non-PlayStation VR 2 games. So it should work. I think it might work. Honest. And if it works, that'd be kind of cool, man. It'd be kind of cool using a left and a right controller playing the non-PlayStation VR 2 games. I think it'd be kind of cool using those controllers on the left and the right. For Call of Duty, bro. I think it'd be kind of cool for Call of Duty. But, yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out. That's a good idea, man. I think if Sony makes an update, let me tell you something. PlayStation VR 2, and I'll say this right now, PlayStation VR 2 would be sold out right now if Sony said, yes, day one, next Wednesday, PlayStation VR 2 headset will be compatible with a PC. And you'll be able to use the entire technology built inside a headset with a PC. And you'll be able to use the, of course, the TouchSense controllers with it as well. I tell you right now, dude, all of the PC elitists, and they have money, they would jump on that PlayStation VR 2 like hotcakes. They would have jumped on that shit like a hotcakes, man. That thing would be sold out. You wouldn't be able to find it anywhere else other than eBay or StockX. You would have to pay a triple amount of money, like $1,200 for a PlayStation VR 2 on StockX. Someone might do it. Someone might do it. Someone might crack that thing, that code. Yeah, you're right. Someone might do it. But if Sony did it, let me tell you, that would be. But see, the Sony. Here's the thing. Sony's against that, Cameron. Sony, it's against it, and here's why Sony is against it, and here's why Sony doesn't like that. Because Sony wants you to buy a PlayStation 5. You know, they want you to purchase the headset, with the PlayStation 5. So for the business point of view, to them that's not good. They don't like that. It's good for the PC guys because they would enjoy the technology and the accolade that's inside a PSVR 2. But for their business objective, they want to sell PS5s and PSVR 2s at the same time. So they want to sell those bundles of PS5 and PSVR 2. So, yeah. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. I got some pretty cool cars over here. Go over to BMW. Let me see. Maserati. Here we go. Factory. What's up, Dominic? How you doing, brother? We're in Canada. We are in Alberta, Canada, man. That's where we are. Alberta, Canada. Let's check it out. Oh, this looks good. Let me adjust my seat. Everything looks good. I'm ready. Oh, for a 2016 game, this looks pretty darn good. Trust me, for a 2016 game. You can adjust the seat if you want to. It's pretty good. Here we go. I'm ready. And this track is pretty good. It's downhill, uphill in Alberta. I really like it. Sadly, developers of this game, they closed down the studio, but I'm not sure what the reason was for them to close down the studio, honestly. Oh, you have to work on Thursday night? What days do you have off? Like, what are your days off usually? 1080p 60 FPS is the best that you can get, honestly, or 720p 60. I would say 720p 60 to be honest. But there's some 1080p 60 games out there with the PlayStation 4 Pro. If you're using a PlayStation 4 Pro, yeah, you can definitely get 1080p 60. But it's something you gotta, honestly, you know what I mean? It's something you gotta try to see how this is. It's kind of hard to explain, Cameron. I know people looking at it from the spec point of view in terms of resolution, and when you look at it in terms of resolution, granted, it's not the greatest resolution because it's an old headset. But even with such a low resolution, I gotta say, this looks great. I'm still enjoying it. It still looks good. I have no issues with resolution that's implemented. The OLED technology that's built inside, the OLED panel that's built inside, I think really helps PlayStation VR 1. Some games look clearer than the others. Some are a little bit blurrier depending on how old the PlayStation VR game is. But for the most part, honestly, it's pretty good. And it's been pretty good since 2016. I really have no complaints about the PlayStation VR 1. I had great experiences on it. I had great time on it. But it's something, again, that person has to experience, you know. Oh yeah, Cameron. Moving from PlayStation VR 1 to PlayStation VR 2, it's gonna be. Well, you'll see my reaction. You'll get to see my reaction and all that, and it's gonna be like night and day difference. It's gonna be a night and day difference. And again, it'll be difficult for me to explain like what I'm experiencing. The words will not be enough, obviously, to express. The words are really not enough to express sometimes what you're experiencing. It is something that you just have to try it yourself, and that's really when it comes to VR. You gotta experience it, man. This is why I keep saying Sony needs to put more demo stations, like demo stations, so people can try it in the shopping malls, electronic stores like Best Buy, Target, Walmart. They should put more demo stations for people to try it, instead of giving the free PlayStation VR 2 headsets to the YouTubers. Fine, let them have it, whatever. They're part of the program. I don't care. I'm not bitter. I really don't care. Really, I don't. But I'm saying, if you want to convince Sony, if you want to convince people to buy it, to cash out $600, the YouTubers is not the way to do it. The YouTubers are really not going to be able to do it. They should have put a demo, Of course, the YouTuber's going to say it's great because they got it for free. Anyone will say, oh, it's great. You got a free equipment that would cost you normally $600. So, yeah, you're going to say, oh, my God, ooh-ah, ee-hoo-ha, this is great. But if you really want, that's why I'm against the lobbying, like they act like lobbyists when they do that. And it's not just Sony. Xbox does this as well. A lot of companies do this, but I don't like this practice in general because it's kind of dirty. For me personally, I don't like it. That's my opinion. I don't like when you give something to somebody for free. Of course, they're going to say, they're not going to be biased. They're not going to be honest. They're going to be putting on that fanboy hat because they got shit for free, because they want more stuff for free. And they get paid on top of that. What's not to like? I mean, come on. So you're paying somebody to put in a good word. It's basically what you're doing. You're bribing. You are bribing somebody. You're lobbying. You're buying lobbyists to lobby for your product to be successful. And that's not the way to make it successful. If you want something to be successful, you got to put a demo. You got to let people try it for themselves. This goes for video games. This goes for everything. It's nothing to do with Sony. It's to do with every company. You got to put the demo. Let people try it. If you want to convince my friends, if you want to convince Cameron to buy it, he needs to have a demo. He's got to put it on his head, the headset on his head. He needs to try it. He needs to see if this is something worth him spending $600. How do you do that? A demo. Build demo stations. Instead of giving these free headsets to these YouTubers, why don't you use those PlayStation VR 2 headsets and build the demos? Let people try it. Why you have to select certain people to go to San Diego to check it out? With supervision of some guy that's always walking around you, telling you what to do. Exactly. That's my whole point, Cameron. And everybody jump on my case because I was roasting YouTubers. The problem with today's generation, they don't know the difference between the insult and roasting. Like, they don't understand the comedy. And I don't expect this generation to understand the comedy, because that's all they do is cancel people. They're just canceling people left and right. If they're not drinking the same Kool-Aid they're drinking. Or if you, God forbid, you roast their favorite heroes, on the YouTube. There's a difference between roasting somebody, making comedic roast, versus an insult. And I know that my friend Cameron understands this. He understands this. But the problem is this generation, Cameron, doesn't understand that. They don't get it. I have nothing against iJustine. I have nothing, but I made a joke. Roasting joke. I said, I wouldn't screw her with a stolen dick. I'm sure if she heard that, she would laugh. I mean, it's funny. But to this generation, they don't understand that. They don't understand that joke, That's not an insult. That's just a roasting. You can roast me too, I don't care what you call me. You can call me a saber tooth. I don't give a shit. You can call me whatever. You can roast me all day long. But the problem is, with today's generation, they're so touchy feelings, Like if you are roasting somebody, they get automatically offended. Like when I said, how many cocks these two guys did I have to suck from Sony to get the PlayStation VR 2. That's roasting. That's a joke. That's not an insult. I'm just roasting them. Clearly, YouTube has no problem with it. That's why the YouTube didn't flag that video. That's why the YouTube didn't remove it. YouTube clearly has no issues with it, because they understand it's a roast. That's what it is. But everybody got their panties in a twist, Everybody start just jumping on me because they don't get it. Exactly, Deacon. They just can't take no joke, man. And I guarantee you, if iJustine has seen that video, she would laugh. I guarantee you she would laugh. If I was to have a podcast with her, one-on-one, and I showed that video to her, she would laugh. She would be all red, blushing, and she would laugh. She would laugh. She wouldn't be offended. She would laugh. I guarantee you she would laugh. That I made such a terrible joke. I wouldn't fuck her with a stolen dick. It is funny, dude. Come on, it is funny. Of course I wouldn't kick her off the bed. She's attractive. Of course. That's the irony. That is the irony, But this generation doesn't get it. They don't get it. Anyway. They're so sensitive, man. You see, Steven gets it, Deacon gets it, Cameron gets it, because you guys are my generation. You guys get it. You guys know the difference between an insult and roasting. When you're roasting, it's just fun. It's just a fun fact, roasting. Was I bitter that I didn't get a PlayStation VR 2. First of all, I was never selected. Why would I be bitter about something that I wasn't even that I look? Let's just look at this before I do this. How can I be bitter about something that I didn't even apply to? For all of you out there who are, jumping on my case, saying that I'm bitter, that I'm salty because I didn't get the PlayStation VR 2, I wasn't selected. I didn't even apply. I'm not even part of the Sony program. Hello? Hello? I'm not even part of the Sony program. I'm not even part of the PlayStation VR program. Why would they select me? I didn't even apply. Why would I get bitter? Come on, man. It is ridiculous. You know what I mean? That's like saying I'm a bitter. I didn't win an Oscar, but I never got nominated. How could I be bitter about not winning an Oscar if I never got even nominated? Right? That's like an actor, right? A movie star, and he gets bitter that he didn't win an Oscar, but he was never nominated. So if you're not nominated, what do you got to be bitter about? Well, you're not going to win anything because you weren't even nominated. So, but anyway, I just find it hilarious, man. People these days, man. Oh, I cannot use this. It's in progress. Let me try a different car. Oh, people are so touchy feelings these days, man. It's ridiculous. It's not even funny anymore. That's why there's no comedians, dude. Dave Chappelle got canceled. I mean, Andrew Tate got canceled. Everything's canceled, dude. Henry Cavill got canceled. Dwayne Johnson got canceled from Black Adam. Everyone's canceled. And you have no comedians. Where's the comedians? I will never change, dude. I'm going to be the way I am till the day I die, dude. I ain't going to change for nobody. I am who I am. Take it or leave it. Either take the ride with me or don't take the ride with me. I'm going to be the way I am. And I'm not going to apologize for who I am. You know, people expect me to apologize for me being me. That will never happen, dude. Even if the aliens from another planet come down here, they will not make me do that. Nobody. I am who I am, and I'm not going to apologize for who I am. That simple. That's it. Oh, look at this car. Nice. We're in Chile now. Chile. Me neither, Cameron. I mean, I really can't look up to nobody. There's no role models, Cameron. There's no role models anymore. They don't exist, you know. Talk about role models, you know. Back in the days, there was plenty of role models back in the days. Now there is no role models. Now you just have, you know, what you have. And it's kind of pretty sad when you really think about it. You know, this is where we are, honestly. This is where we at. Hold on, I gotta try a different car. Not happy with this car. I gotta get another one. Let's go to Scotland. We'll go to Scotland. Scotland. A Bentley? I don't know about Bentley. Ferrari? Okay. Okay. Ferrari? Yeah, I can go with Ferrari. I have a pretty cool game for you guys on Wednesday. It's called Blood and Truth. I think you will enjoy this, Cameron. PlayStation VR 1 game, exclusive only on PlayStation VR 1. I can't wait for you to watch this live stream. I think you're going to really enjoy it. It's like John Wick action type adventure with some interesting actors in it. I think you're gonna really. It's like John Wick meets Guy Ritchie type of a movie with inside the video game, if you will. But it's like a pretty cool shoot 'em up PlayStation VR 1 game called Blood and Truth. I'm gonna do that on Wednesday for you guys. Can't wait for you guys to check it out. What I'm basically doing, I'm revisiting these PlayStation VR 1 games before we officially, jump into the next generation PlayStation VR 2. So I'm like testing out some of these old school PlayStation VR 1 games. That's not to say that I won't do any like non-VR games. There will be some non-VR games I will do, obviously. There will be Hogwarts Legacy. I will try that down the road, you know. So I will try that as well. There'll be a bunch of I don't want you guys to think that there won't be a podcast. I don't want you guys to think that there won't be any non-VR games. There will be, you know. I don't want you guys to worry about that. But my main focus is going to be obviously on a PlayStation VR. My opinion on Andrew Tate. Look, I don't know the guy personally, you know. I don't know what he did in his life, you know. Obviously, I don't know that. But what I do like about him is that he's outspoken and he speaks his mind. And he doesn't care whether you like it or don't. That's the true freedom. You know, and I'm kind of the same way. I'm outspoken. I'm not trying to appease to anybody. I'm not trying to hold hands and sing Kumbaya and make you happy. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here for that. If you're looking for that, I don't know. You're going to have to go search for that. I'm sure you'll find somebody out there who's going to do that for you. Or maybe you can simp for them and they'll do that for you. They'll pretend. I don't do that. So Andrew Tate kind of... I have the same way of thinking the way he thinks. Now, I'm not trying to measure myself to Andrew Tate. The guy's a athlete beast. He is successful. He's wealthy, you know, so I'm not trying to compare myself to that measurement. What I'm trying to say, the way he thinks, I like. And I think the same way, the way he thinks. And that's the part that I like about him. I like the way he thinks. He's outspoken. He doesn't believe everything that everyone tells him. He likes to question everything, you know. You know what I mean? He's not like a tool, some obedient tool that believes everything that government tells him, and, you know, or buys everything that government tells them, like, were those balloons or was that a UFO or why did we shoot it down? And oh, we cannot tell you why we shot it down. What were they? What kind of objects? Well, we cannot tell you that. And why we haven't retrieved it yet? Well, it takes time and da-da-da-da-da. And so you can't tell us what it is and why you shoot it down. No, we cannot tell you that. Like, he doesn't buy the official story of the official story. Why? Because, the history has proven to us that the people that we elect have lied to us before in the past, and they really haven't served the people. They have served themselves, and they have served some other agenda that's behind that. And that's what he talks about. He talks about the Matrix, that this is just smoke and screen, puppets on the strings, masters of puppets, the illusion. They're a bunch of actors. What you see on the TV, what you see, all this, it's just the puppets on strings. Bunch of actors. He believes there's behind those actors, there's a other group out there that's pulling the strings. And we obviously believe the puppets. We get brainwashed by puppets because of the stuff like video games, stuff like movies, stuff like, the culture that's being brainwashed into our brains. And we are born and raised with that kind of way of thinking and programming, and we are programmed that way since birth. And that's what he's trying to say, that we're programmed that way. And anybody who doesn't think like that, they look at it like a malware. They look at it like a virus on a computer, right? And that virus needs to be removed. That Trojan horse needs to be removed. It's not good for our computer, Windows operating system, because the Windows operating system doesn't like that. Windows operating system only wants the programs that will follow the protocol of the Windows operating system. And he happens to be that Trojan horse, that virus that the Windows operating system doesn't like, called the Matrix. You guys follow me? And so I think the way he thinks. And he's not the only one. David Icke thinks like this. Bunch of other people thinks like this, that there's something greater behind this. And that we have been lied to about a lot of stuff. We've been lied to about so many things. And they're trying to kind of keep that from spreading. Because they like the status quo. They like status quo. They don't want the status quo to change because it's good for them, for their agenda. Status quo is good for them. They don't like smart individuals who can figure out how badly we're being enslaved. They want people smart enough to do what they're told, to follow the orders, to follow the protocol, and don't question anything. Do as you're told. And that's it. Make your money, buy yourself a house, buy yourself some gizmos, and that's it. Watch the Super Bowl every year. Enjoy these like hocus pocus, holidays. Like tomorrow's a Valentine's Day, go buy some flowers, blah, 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 blah. It's the program. The BS program that you have to go by. And this is what Andrew Tate is talking about. Now, the mistake he made is that he went after this, princess of global elites, the princess of the agenda of global warming. He went after her, and that was his mistake. What are the odds ever since he went after her to, have a debate with her and having almost like an argument with her, all of a sudden, he's being arrested, even though he's not even charged. Like, they don't even have a probable cause, and the guy's detained for almost a month and a half, and they don't even have a probable cause. They haven't even charged the guy. Like, if they had a solid evidence that he was part of a trafficking, he would be already charged. That's it. He would be already charged. And then he would have to look for a lawyer, and he had to go on trial or whatever. But he wasn't even charged. So it smells like a setup to me. They set him up because of this whole thing with this princess of global warming. you know, princess of global. Did you look at her laugh? The way she laughs, while she got, I don't know, like a 50 armed guards in Kevlar, like soldiers protecting her, and her evil laugh. Listen, man, there's some truly evil people out there, man, that worship the evil shit. You saw it on the Super Bowl game last night. You've seen it on the what was that? That TV show awards, Emmys, whatever they call it. I don't know. They did some kind of satanic ritual. They're worshiping the demon and all that shit. Hell, you've seen Madonna and her change of demonic possession. You see a bunch of demonic shit, you know, constantly being shoved down people's throat. They're not even hiding it. They're not even hiding it anymore. They're just kind of like letting you know, hey, Lucifer is here. We believe in Lucifer, and that's the bottom line. They're not even hiding it, dude. They're not even hiding that fact. Look at Dave Bautista. Has a big giant tattoo of Illuminatis and the one eye seeing, all-seeing eye. I'm not going to go into details about what the all-seeing eye is because, you know, I already been, you know, shadow banned once. I don't want to get shadow banned twice. Look at Dave Bautista sold himself out. That's why his career is jump-starting. He's getting more movies because he's a good boy. He's a good boy. Not that he's not a good actor. He's a good actor, but he sold himself out. The guy sold himself out to the devil, to the Hollywood, and that's why he got all of these tattoos. Same thing with the GOAT, the greatest of all time, James LeBron. You've seen that pyramid, and he always holds that pyramid, you know, with his hands up in his hands. The all-seeing eye, the pyramid. The top of the pyramid, you see it on the dollar bill. I'm not going to go into details about that. You guys can go research yourself. All right. So that's the bottom line. And of course, you're going to have, you know, these individuals, programmed individuals, coming in here saying that I'm insane. Of course, he's going to say that he's a 16-year-old, you know, programmed, brainwashed. So I don't blame this kid that just came in and called me insane. I don't blame him. It's not his fault. He's programmed that way. I used to think like that too. Until obviously I realized what's really going on. So I don't blame them because it's not their fault. You know, they're born into this. They're programmed to think like this, and it is what it is. And that's what Andrew Tate is saying. He says, I know people are going to call me all kinds of names, but I understand. It's not their fault. They're programmed to think like that. You're programmed because you can't think for yourself. You go with the official story. Whatever the official story is, you're going to buy into it. If they tell you got to jump, you're going to say how high. If they tell you have to sign this, you're going to sign it. If they tell you if you don't sign this, you're going to lose this, you're going to sign it. That's because they run on fear, and you have a fear of losing. You have a fear of being out on the street. So you're going to do as they tell you to do. That's called program of fear. So that's how they get you. But then again, I don't blame you. People know what I'm saying. Listen, they know what I'm saying. It's just they're afraid. They are afraid to acknowledge it publicly. They're afraid to acknowledge it publicly because they don't want to get scrutinized. They don't want to lose their friends. They don't want to lose their, status or whatever title they're holding. They're just afraid of losing that status or whatever the status they're, whatever title they're in. They don't want to lose that friendship. So therefore, they know what I'm saying. They can feel it. But they go against it because they know that's not a hip thing to do. It's better if you just jump on the bandwagon and fit in. And people just want to fit in to survive and get by. And of course they're going to go against it, even though they know better. I can agree on that, Deacon. And I'm speaking for my generation. This one is such a... how would I put this? I'm trying to find a good word to describe it. I would call this generation a generation monolith. I think it's the best word to use. I've been carefully circling around the vocabulary in my head, trying to describe this generation without pissing them off. I would say this is a generation monolith. The word monolith means mystery, unknown. It's mysterious and unknown, and that's how I look at him. It's a generation monolith. Unknown, still pending, undecided, mystique, mysterious. Unknown, monolith, generation monolith. I'm doing good. How you doing, Brendan? How are you? Enjoying some PlayStation VR 1 games, before the PlayStation VR 2 comes out. On Wednesday, I'm going to show you guys this pretty cool PlayStation VR 1 game called Blood and Truth. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you Firewall, multiplayer, Firewall, tomorrow. But on Wednesday, I'm going to play Blood and Truth. Pretty cool VR game. Can't wait to do that for you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. How you been, Brendan? How's everything, man? How's life treating you? I hope everything's good. I gotta say, the graphics is still pretty good, man. I'm in Norway right now, driving here down a hill on this steep road, and for a 2016 PlayStation VR 1 games, you see, this thing about Sony, guys, no matter what, they always bring quality. You see, Cameron, this is the proof that Sony is always aiming for a quality. Even with this one, even with the Drive Club. They're always aiming for quality, no matter what. Even if it's not successful, they're aiming for quality. Like, that's their goal number one. Oh, you're moving from a Central Florida, moving somewhere else, I see. What are we talking about? We're talking about Andrew Tate in The Matrix. and this generation. That's what we're talking about. Because somebody asked me what are my opinions on Andrew Tate, and then we got into a deep dive with my philosophy of what Andrew Tate is all about, and then I tried to explain what I like about him and some similarities in terms of thinking when it comes to Andrew Tate and me. Both me and him are outspoken, and we have no problem calling something out the way we see it. While majority of people out there are afraid. They always have anxiety, nervousness. They're afraid of what they're gonna say and how people gonna, judge them. That's fear, dude. You are like in a prison, dude. That means you have no freedom. That's not freedom. If you are afraid to say how you feel, that's not freedom, dude. You're not free. Trust me, my friend. You are not free. And that's what Andrew Tate is trying to tell us. That's what David Icke is trying to tell us. If you don't have a freedom to express your feelings and you get punished for it, you lose your job, or your social media gets banned and they shut down your channel, or they have bots attacking your channel and a bunch of trolls creating fake accounts, attacking you. That means that you're not free. Means you're afraid. You're afraid to say what you want to say. Andrew Tate is not afraid. Clearly, the guy speaks his mind, and bravo to him. I'm not afraid to say what I think, and I speak my mind, and I don't care. If it makes you comfy or not comfy, that is your problem, not my problem. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about this generation and in general. I call it the generation monolith. I want to watch a replay. Hold on. This is cool. Let's check out the replay. Hold on. Oh, look at that. I can switch between different cars. Oh, that's so cool. GameFly, it's awesome, man. I still have my GameFly. Love it, dude. Probably the best membership ever. The best service ever, dude. I love GameFly, dude. I had it since you recommended it to me, Brendan. And gave me a bunch of money. Thanks to you, man. Yeah, Deacon, 100%. I agree with that statement, man. 100%. Especially now that Nintendo, it's jacking up the prices. GameFly should be... Listen, I don't know why people are not jumping into GameFly. Honestly, with such a high inflation and the economy going down the toilet, I don't understand why more people, more gamers, don't jump into GameFly. I just don't understand. Why don't they all jump into GameFly? What's so great about GameFly? Even if you don't like the game, like for example, Forspoken. Even if I didn't like it, okay, I can return it. So even if you don't like the game, you can always return it. You get to try out the games, even if it doesn't matter whether it's good or bad. You get to try out all these games and use that service and try them all out. It doesn't matter if the game's good or bad. If the game is good, well, you get to keep it, and you buy it for half a price. Use the coupons, use the rewards that they have, and buy it for half a price. I mean, that membership, it's that $30 a month, it's worth every penny, dude. It's worth every penny. GameFly has been really good to me, man. I can't complain, dude. I have nothing but good things to say about GameFly. Especially the year 2022. Saved a bunch of money on it. See what time it is. Oh shit, I totally forgot. Hold on. What is the time? Does anybody know what time it is? Sorry guys, I feel like Hey, Brendan, what time is it? Do you know? Because I can't see. I got my VR. 7:35. Thank you, Cameron. Appreciate it. I forgot. I forgot. I gotta watch the episode 5. Jesus. I gotta watch the episode 5 of The Last of Us. 7:35. Thank you, Brendan. No, I haven't. I haven't. You know. I haven't watched the. Yeah, I know. I gotta watch the episode 5. I totally forgot, man. Gotta watch it. I mean, if you want to be a moderator, that's fine. I can add you as a moderator. Brandon, if that's what you want. If Deacon, if you want to be a moderator, I mean, that's fine. You know, you guys can have the wrench. But I just really want to limit it to not that many moderators. You know, I just don't want too many moderators, because then if there's too many moderators and people are afraid, you know, and I don't want to do that. And I mean, like I think 4 moderators is tops. It shouldn't be like that, you know. But too many moderators is just like it looks ridiculous. You know, people are gonna look at it and say, "Should I?" Then I become like the master of the puppet. You know what I mean? People gonna be afraid to even say hi. You know. Yeah. Because I want moderators there, like they understand you can't remove people for no reason. Like a person, there has to be a good reason. Or if you don't like his opinion, you cannot remove a person because you don't like his opinion. Like you got to let him have his opinion. As long as the opinion is done respectfully. Okay? If the opinion is done respectfully, that's fine. We can have the dialogue, you know, that's fine. You know, he can ask a question. He can have a debate, that's fine. Like, I don't want people being removed because they want to have an opinion. They should be able to have an opinion. It doesn't mean I have to agree with it. Doesn't mean you guys have to agree with it, but they should be able to say it. Now, it has to be done respectfully. That's what I mean, you know. If they start calling me names or you names, well, that's not going to fly. Then the person's got to go. So that's all I'm saying, because I had people complain to me that some people got removed and blocked and they didn't deserve to be removed and blocked. And I don't want that to happen. You know, I don't want people getting removed. Exactly, Deacon. I don't want people getting removed. Yeah. Thank you, Brendan. So like I said, I don't mind giving you to the wrench. I'll give it to you tomorrow before I do the live stream. I'll give you guys the wrench tomorrow. But I just kind of want to minimize it to 4. Cameron, Dominic, Deacon, and Brendan. You know, and I think 4 should be the limit. You know, Cameron, Dominic, Deacon, and Brendan. But I just, you know, if somebody's being, you know, ruthless, hateful, discriminating somebody, saying very discriminative words, the person, you can give them a warning. You can give them a warning. Hey, stop, please, don't do that. Stop it. And if the person doesn't stop, it's good to give everybody a chance. Give them a chance, And if they don't stop, then of course you got to do what you got to do. You got to remove the person, block the person. I just want to be fair. That's all. All right, so I gotta go watch that. Yeah, I gotta go watch that episode 5, The Last of Us. I didn't see it, so I'm gonna watch it, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow with the Firewall 0 hour Firewall. Tomorrow we'll do the Firewall. It's a VR multiplayer game, and we're gonna be talking to some people actually. If you guys want to jump on a party chat, Cameron and others, if you want to jump on a party chat, I can have you guys on a party chat. There will be some people playing online on a PlayStation VR, and it's interesting to see what they have to say when we play and we talk about the VR. Maybe the conversation will take over as we go through those multiplayer maps, because people will be talking. Because people will be talking, they'll be able to hear us. So that's going to be interesting to see what people think, what the PlayStation VR fans think about the PlayStation VR 2. It'll be kind of interesting. And I'll put you, Deacon and Brendan, I'll put you guys as a moderators. Do not worry, you will be added as a moderator. I will take care of that for you tomorrow. It'll be done. It'll be done. You will be moderators. All right, so I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, and I hope you guys don't mind that I go through some of these PlayStation VR 1 games prior to the that grand opening unboxing on Friday, the 24th of next Friday, February 24th. I hope you guys don't mind that I go through some of these PlayStation VR 1 games. Thank you, Cameron. Always a pleasure. I love our conversations, but our conversations are better in the party chat. Thank you, Deacon. Always a pleasure to have you here, Deacon. I appreciate your points of views. Thank you, Brendan. I appreciate you being here, brother. As always, Dominic, I know you're busy working at the airport, but I want to say I appreciate you tuning in. Even though I know how busy you are, I appreciate you tuning in. And Steven, thank you, Steve-O. I appreciate you, Steve-O, for being here. You always tune in. I really appreciate you. One of these days, me and you got to do multiplayer on the GoldenEye. Me and you got to do a one-on-one on the Nintendo Switch. We got to do GoldenEye. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I'll let you know what I think about the episode 5. I'll give you my honest opinions on the episode 5 after I see it tonight. Thank you guys. Love you all. Be good. Stay positive. And I'll see you tomorrow.